Hey guys, I just wanted to do a couple videos in a series called The Parts You Need to Have the Full Figure. First we're going to start off with the sword and the shield from Shinken. If you don't have this, then Shinken won't look as cool. And if you have this and you really love the disc and you lost it and you just bought a Shinken Maru and can't find this, you need this. You at least need the disc if you got the Shinken Maru and you want to use this on the Shinken Maru. The Shinken Maru. So, and we're also just doing the connectors you need. So let's start with Kame, shall we? That was my body. So this is Kame, and if you have the head and it's loose right here, but then the head falls off, you won't be able to have animal form unless he looks like this, and that just looks stupid. And also something you need is the clip and the peg in there. If you don't have those, it wouldn't hold together. It would just flop down like that. So you need those. And the flippers, if they get loose and fall off, you're gonna have a turtle that looks like this. That looks stupid. So, and this connector piece, it probably wouldn't, but if this whole thing falls off, you wouldn't have the full Shinken. Next up, we have Saru. These are loose on mine, but if you don't have that peg and that clip right there, and you wouldn't have the full Shinken because it would look like this, and then that happens. So, and if these coming down were loose and they didn't have a ratchet, it's not really a ratchet, but if they didn't have this that actually holds it in place, then you couldn't have Shinken. If you didn't have the arms, you would have a monkey that looked like that. So that's kind of stupid. And that peg and that hole and that clip, if you don't have those, this would hold poorly. It wouldn't hold at all. That's why you need those, because it's a strong hold. It holds it pretty well. Next, that's my mouth. We have Kuma, and if this was loose, if you tried to pull it down from there, it would get loose, and then you would have a head going all over the place. And you need the head, because then you would have a Shinken with a leg that looked like this. I do not want that. That's why I take care of Shinken. So then this joint right here, if you don't have that, then you would have Shinken's leg that would look like, hang on, this. And besides, the connector is right there. And yeah, if you didn't have this, the connector would be right there, and you would have to connect the leg in like that. That's why you need that joint. And the little nubs there that hold into the holes here, you need those, or else it's gonna be all floppy. So you need those nubs. Now for Ryu, there's a lot of joints and connectors you need. If you didn't have the head, you would have a Ryu origami that would look like this. If you didn't have the neck, then his head would be off, and you would have a Ryu that would look like this. If you didn't have this joint, then you would have two pieces of a dragon. And you still could hold this together for origami mode. But if you had it in animal mode, he would just be two parts of a dragon. And this joint, if you didn't have it, you would have a dragon without a tail. And practically it would look stupid. Now on to Shishi. If you don't have the legs, then you couldn't have the whole shinken, because if you didn't have the legs, you wouldn't have the connector right here to hold in Saru and Kame. If you didn't have that peg and that clip, that would be okay, because this is on a tough joint, and it would go up all the way, but the clip, you would have to clip it in if you had the clip. So if you didn't have that peg, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. If you didn't have the mouth, the jaw, I mean, you would have a Shishi that looks dumb. You would have just like a snake. And here, if you didn't have these, you wouldn't be able to peg Kuma and Ryu onto the back, onto Shinkano on the bottom. And if you didn't have these two points of articulation, then you wouldn't have the head of Shinkano. This is the head. If you didn't have these two joints, you wouldn't have the head. So if you didn't have those two clips, then you wouldn't have origami mode. Or these little clips, you wouldn't have origami mode, because you would look like this, and it would be all loose. And if you didn't have these clips down here, and you wouldn't have the full animal mode, he would just look like this, and the joints aren't that good in every one of the Shishis, so you've gotta have all the joints. Now for Daikai, let me go get him. Like right there. So if you didn't have all the joints for Daikai, if you didn't have these claws right here, then he would just look stupid. He wouldn't have that. And then it would look stupid. And then if you took off the arm, there's the hole there, and then the connector's peg right here. If you didn't have that, then you wouldn't be able to connect the arm. And you wouldn't be able to have the samurai ha-oh. Hang on, let me get that thing on. There we go. On the back. If you didn't have this joint right here, then if you didn't have this joint right here, you would look stupid and you wouldn't have the full daikai. And another cool thing they added is if you move that, you get like that. But and if you took the head off, as you can see, all the clips and tabs, the 2 clips and then that one little tab thing, if you didn't have those, you wouldn't be able to hold the head in, because there's a lot of the holes in there, and you wouldn't be able to hold that in. It wouldn't be able to clip in. And that about does it for this review. On the next one, we're going to be doing it with all the or not origami mode, the shinken, the Megazord modes. I will see you on the next one, and bye.